Today on Commander Replay, it's gonna be a bear of a game with Ayula, queen among the bears. Can we bear fall our way to victory? Find out next on Commander Replay. Today's show is brought to you by Culture, a graffiti artist from New York who brings your favorite pop icons to life. You can check out his one-of-a-kind works on his Instagram page, and if you see something you like, be sure to follow him and drop a comment. But if you see something you gotta have, or are interested in getting some custom work done, feel free to contact him directly through Instagram and be sure to mention Commander Replay for a discount. A link will be in the description below. Welcome back everyone, playing some Ayula, Queen Among Bears today, Bearfall Tribal. And take a look at our opening hand, it's a one-lander, we're gonna mulligan that. We've got 3 lands and a bunch of finishers. I guess it works. If we get the 5 mana and get the Vanquisher's Banner going, that shouldn't be too bad, but we also have no bears in this hand. So we'll go ahead and keep this one, even though it's not the best thing I've ever seen. Scry Temple coming down for the Send Triplets. Ooh, Send Triplets. Ugh. Well, we're going to have to use our bear ability to try to fight down those Send Triplets. Well, we have a Beast Within also, so keeping Send Triplets out of play is a really good idea. I've seen it a few times. I would say at least 50% of the games that I play against Send Triplets, it never actually gets into play because it's very slow, or at least you never actually see the ability, because the opponent does have to untap with it before it starts to do its thing, and at 5 mana, 3/3, it tends to come out at a time where like the board is probably already starting to get crowded, so people will use a board wipe on it, they'll use spot removal on it. Now, I have had that trigger resolve on me a couple times, and it is miserable. Yep, and there's a Verdurous Gearhulk, which will again be good once we have some bears, but no bears yet. So play a turn and pass like that. So Ayula, Bear Tribal. I am not a Bear Tribal expert. I did find this deck pretty difficult to put together. I thought more of the bears would be at 2 mana, but there are actually less of them on MTGO than I was expecting. I also thought that there would just be more bears in general. I thought that they had printed more of them over the years, and it's pretty low. I think this deck ended up with about 22 creatures. One of them I couldn't find online. It was the M19 bear for some reason. I don't know why no one had it. So yeah, if we want to be successful in this deck, we're going to have to do a couple things. That is, 1, draw a lot of cards. 2, play things like a Chroma's Memorial, Verdurous Gearhulk, other things that pump our cards up, since they won't be able to really get there on their own. But anyway, with that brings it back to our turn, and we will play Ayula, Queen Among Bears. Haven't caught those 4th and 5th lands yet. Hope to do that really soon. A Cultivate off the top would be super sweet. That was another thing too. I did have to cut down on the amount of ramp I was running just to get more stuff into the deck. And it's sort of that age-old tribal problem that I have, that like if you're trying to run a certain number of creatures in the deck and they tend to be creatures that don't hold their own really well, you need to play things like Verdurous Gearhulk, like Vanquisher's Banner, like a Chroma's Memorial. Those eat up deck slots, and it doesn't leave you a lot of room for as much ramp as you like, for as much removal as you would like. So that is the tribal conundrum, is that if you want a lot of creatures, you do have to sacrifice from something, and that's usually going to be your ramp and your removal. Darksteel Plate coming down for the Dragon Lord Ojutai. I am joined by 3 Patreon supporters today. First up, we have Chaotix2075 piloting Send Triplets. As we talked about, Send Triplets, a pretty nasty commander. Says at the beginning of your upkeep, choose target opponent. That player can't cast spells or activate abilities and plays with their hand revealed. You may play cards from that player's hand this turn. That includes lands. If that trigger resolves on you one time, they can just clean out your hand. Like, they play the land, they play your best 1 or 2 cards, and you are in a bad place after that. This is a miserable commander to face. Next up, we have TDDL playing Dragon Lord Ojutai. We saw this deck a little while back, so it's kind of a controlling Voltron kind of deck. They do have a lot of the blue-white gods in the deck, so you need to watch out for those as well. And the deck just has the ability to make some really big creatures, throw some equipments on them. Dragon Lord Ojutai, pretty hard to remove because it has hexproof most of the time. And it's not too hard to get vigilance on it. And it refills its hand, does a lot of things really well. And then finally, we have Firemaker282 piloting Olivia Valdarin. Olivia was the 2nd commander deck that I ever built, and her ability is also very strong, the ability to pay 7 and steal a creature, or in our case, they can just pay a lot of red and shoot down our creatures, since our creatures are inherently small, which is not the greatest thing for us, so keeping Olivia out of play, also a really good idea. And it's a deck that, like, it's a fun little deck, but the problem is that because of the mana, it's not the strongest thing ever. Like, if Olivia keeps getting blown up, which is what happens in stronger metas, your deck can't do that much. But if it does work, then you're stealing all your opponent's stuff, and then the game just ends really quickly. So, like, it's this really swingy kind of commander. But nonetheless, it's still really fun to play. Opponent's gonna swords on our Ayula. That seems really premature, especially given an Olivia at the table. We gained 2 life. I really wish that was a path, though, because we could have really used that land. Here comes a Return to Dust on Darksteel Plate and Ayula's Influence. Ayula's Influence is kind of in there just as a cute little trick. If we play something like Rishkar's Expertise and draw way more lands than we ever need, that's really why it's in there. So, like, would I rather have it? Yeah, I'd rather have it, but it's not like a central kingpin to our deck. And in fact, we have Asceticism, Vanquisher's Banner, and Akroma's Memorial, and I would much rather have those stick in play, so I'm alright trading the Ayula's Influence to get rid of Return to Dust right there. Oh, that's a black market. That would also have been a very nice target for the Return to Dust. That may need to get Beast Within. Come on, cultivate off the top. It's a Herald's Horn. I guess it's fine. Really wanted a land. We will be choosing bears as our chosen creature type. And we'll pass turn like that. Said it's not his fault. The queen was left unprotected. I mean, if nothing else, we can always recast our commander next turn, so that's cool. And here comes Send Triplets. We may have to shoot that instead. See if anyone else wants to deal with that. Yep, that gets Path to Exiled. Fantastic. We don't have to use our removal and can recast our commander. And so that is the problem with playing Send Triplets. It's sort of a victim of its ability being too powerful. Like, it's just so powerful that you have to kill it. If you have removal, you need to use it on it. It's just really hard for it to stick around. If I were going to build my own Send Triplets deck, it would probably be a ton of Mana Rocks and a ton of Lightning Greaves and similar protection style of cards is probably how I would go about doing it. For the reason that I just mentioned of Send Triplets just eats removal like there's no tomorrow. So Black Market triggers for Olivia with 0 counters on it. Sounds good to me. So here comes Olivia. It's into play. May need to think twice about our commander, but... So that'll bring it back to our turn. Herald's Horn will trigger. Come on, bear into land. That's what we want to do right here. Or bear into cultivate. Alright, it's no creatures, but we do hit that forest that we need, so... play the forest. The question is, does it even make sense to play our commander with Olivia on board? They only have 1 red. They can't shoot it before they untap, but they could shoot it. I don't think it does. I think we sit on the Beast Within, honestly. No one else is really committing anything to the board yet either, and, you know, as much as I don't like giving up on tempo, this may be a... Yeah, we've got an Esper deck, we've got a blue-white deck. Dragonlord Ojutai can be a little bit aggressive, but it also appears that they are very stuck on lands. Ooh. Yeah, I just noticed that. They are on 3 lands. That is... They're doing worse than us, land-wise. So, I think this is going to be a pretty slow-moving game, given our opponents, given what's happened so far. So, I think we'll be okay to chill, sit on the Beast Within if we need it. Yeah, it's really... You know what? It's really just going to make a lot of sense for us to get asceticism down before we start playing bears, because, yeah... Olivia, Send Triplets, back to play. And so by not playing our commander right there, right now, Olivia's got a really easy target. Now, one thing we have to watch out for is they could try to steal it. But even if they do that, that's 7 mana. We could Beast Within it. We don't have the tools for it necessarily, especially given what's already out there. But getting rid of this Thran Dynamo would actually be a really big play against the Olivia Voldaren opponent. That deck is very, very mana hungry. So here comes a Rhystic Study for the Dragonlord Ojutai. Yep. That should, if they get a couple card draws out of that, might help them with their land situation. So Olivia bites the Send Triplets, pumps itself up 1, and Send Triplets does become a vampire in addition to its other types. And Black Market will trigger, still no counters on it. Here comes a Ghost Quarter. There's an Emeria in play, so Ghost Quarter may get used at some point. Here comes a Mind Stone for the Olivia. That'll trigger the Rhystic Study. Opponent can swing into us for 4. Yep, that's annoying. So one thing we do need to watch out for is that, like, Olivia is just... It turns into a big flyer really quickly, and especially if they're making extra mana. So I think right here I'm just going to shoot that Black Market because I know what Black Market can do in that deck. So Beast Within on Black Market. Like I said, Olivia is a mana-hungry deck. If you can shut down the mana, then that's going to be your chance against the deck. I'm going to let opponent draw right there just because they're stuck on lands, so... No problem trying to at least let them get a land and get into the game. In fact, because there's some nasty stuff on board, they may have removal for those things. So, completely okay with that. Oh, it's a Finale of Devastation. Oh, man, we're drawing all of our finishers and not any of the things that we need. Do we have any creatures that make mana for us? Because that's really what we need. Nope. So, I guess we're just going to keep passing. That's not great. I probably should have mulliganed again, honestly. Mulligan into a Cultivate would have been a good idea. Yep, so the Send Triplets has been stolen. We'll see what Chaotix wants to do to try and get that back. By the way, I am running 36 lands today, so I am getting punished for running less than 37. And this is why you should not run less than 37 lands. I would not be upset to see a windfall. Like, we'd lose a lot of good things if a windfall happened, but right now we can't use any of the things that we have, so that's kind of an issue. Ooh, opponent's going to play Long Road Home on the Send Triplets. So that'll exile it, and at the beginning of the next end step, that'll return to its owner's control with a +1/+1 counter on it. So that bypasses the Send Triplets problem, at least until Chaotic's next turn. Another thing I thought about too, Akroma's Memorial also gives us protection from Olivia and gives us flying blockers from Olivia, which will become a big deal if the board doesn't get wiped here soon, or if this Olivia doesn't get blown up. Nope, there's an austere command. Really? Not going for creatures? Artifacts and enchantments. That's gonna hurt. Well, I guess that does get rid of the Thran Dynamo. Gets rid of the Rhystic Study. Yeah, I guess I can understand that. Opponent cracks the Mind Stone. Thran Dynamo is really good in Olivia. And now, if Olivia dies for any reason, it will be reasonably tough for them to recast it. So, Olivia bites the beast, becomes a 5/5. We unfortunately lose our cost reduction and potential card advantage with Herald's Horn. Herald's Horn is a card that I haven't used all that much. Like, in some decks it can be good, but you really do want a high creature count. And based on the tribes that I play, they're the type of tribes that, like, you just don't have room for a card like this because, you know, you do have to play things like Akroma's Memorial and Coat of Arms and stuff like that to really make the tribes strong. Herald's Horn is going to be a little bit better in a really high-density tribal deck. It's probably going to be like Elves or Vampires, something like that. Opponent discarding some stuff. Discards a Crush Contraband. They should have kept that one. Sword of Vengeance and Steel of the Godhead. And it appears that they did not catch a WoW and an Azor the Lawbringer. Did not catch any lands in all the additional cards that they drew. Pretty rough. Everyone's had some shuffler issues this game. Firemaker said his first 3 hands had all-out Cabal coffers and no additional lands. We mulliganed once, and we're catching all the things that are 5 and above in this deck, which the curve in this deck is fairly normalized. Now, I guess there's 9/5 drops, which is 9/5 drops is about right. 4/12 drops, 5/4. Yeah, it's a pretty normal deck setup. We just haven't drawn the lands. We do have Cultivate, Kodamas, and Nissa's Pilgrimage. I would love to find any of them at this moment. Opponent going to send the Beast with us and the Olivia at the Send Triplets. Sure. Now, what is funny is that Olivia can tap out most of their mana to regain control of that Send Triplets, and if they do, that means that Chaotix still won't get to use the Send Triplets ability. So we get down to 35, Chaotix goes down to 25, takes 5 Commander. We draw a Shamanic Revelation. Not helpful. Up to 7 cards, so we're just going to keep passing. Oh, man. So what we need to really have any kind of chance in this game is that basically the Esper player needs to do the Esper thing and just like slow the game down, wipe the board a million times, really make things come to a grinding halt while we try to get caught up on lands. And hopefully they wear down their own resources enough that we can... Oh, that's some stuff. I did tell opponents that I was playing at the lower end of mid-power, and we do get Send Triplets, Olivia Valderin, Consecrated Sphinxes. Yeah, we might have to work on our definition of mid-power. Consecrated Sphinx is one of those cards you play, and like, if you do almost nothing else, it can win you the game just by drawing like 15 cards. There's a Return to Dust in the Ojutai's hand. It's not amazing. It means that we probably go for Vanquisher's Banner first. Here's the other problem, too. If you play a Consecrated Sphinx, it's probably getting stolen by this Olivia. Anything you do, I think, has to start with this Grasp of Fate. Nope, just going straight for that Consecrated Sphinx. I have a feeling that's going to backfire on them. Now, they still have 3 for the Grasp of Fate. Gonna swing into the Olivia opponent. Yep, gonna bite the Consecrated Sphinx. Ooh, gonna unmake on the Olivia. Alright, that's something. Bites the Send Triplets. I mean, now does opponent have to Grasp of Fate on their own Consecrated Sphinx? Maybe. And actually, that's not the worst play. So they Grasp of Fate on their Consecrated Sphinx, and then when they find another land, they Return to Dust on the Grasp of Fate. Get their Consecrated Sphinx back. Doesn't sound terrible. Chaotix gets to draw some cards. There's a Ghostly Prison. Yeah, that's not the way I would have gone on that. There's a big old Blasphemous Act out of the Olivia Valderin. Excellent. So that gets rid of all of the problems on board. And we draw not a land. Alright, well, I guess we're playing the Finale of Devastation and getting a bear. Our choices are Ashcoat Bear, Grizzly Bears, Mother Bear, Runeclaw Bear, Werebear. Oh, that one makes mana. Let's get that one. Yeah. Well, I guess if we did that last turn, it would have just got eaten. eaten by the Blasphemous Act, so... Yep, board wipes are the thing we need to slow this game down. There's a Brago King Eternal for the Send Triplets player. Yep, Brago's very powerful. We still know about the Return to Dust, which makes us want to be very careful, which means we're probably still in the Vanquisher's Banner plan, even though I really want to get Asceticism in. Our Werebear is a pretty large target for Olivia. So Ojutai finally finding their 4th land. It is sadly a Path of Ancestry, so it comes in tapped. Their woes continue like ours. Door of Destinies for the Olivia opponent. Here comes a Twilight Prophet. That's a very good one. So when I built my own Olivia deck, I never really ran it as Vampire Tribal. I always kind of ran it as a more build around me, use the Olivia ability. And Utter End on the Twilight Prophet. Yup. There's a Croson Grip. Yeah, we'll use that eventually. Right now I think it's going to be Vanquisher's Banner time. Really need to get some lands going. Try to play a bear. Recast our commander next turn, I guess, and then try to, get some lands going. It's turn 9. We're on 4 lands. This is not how you win games of Commander. Watcher for Tomorrow coming in. It's going to hide away. Sure. Brago coming our way. Yep, that's going to hit. It will hide away again, but... Ooh, it leaves the battlefield. Yep. Seems like a pretty good Brago target. So opponent gets that card, and they'll get the hideaway again. Darksteel Ingot coming down. Yep. Here comes a Solemn Simulacrum. Yep. Opponent gonna put the boots on the Solemn Simulacrum. Yep. Turn 10, and life totals are still very high. Opponent gonna recast their commander. That triggers the Door of Destinies. And a Viscera Seer also triggers the Door of Destinies. That's Wild Pair. Too bad we can't cast it, just like anything else. Recast our commander, I guess. Vanquisher's Banner will trigger. Come on, land. Hey, we finally found a land. How about that? Oh my god. So our 5th land was 20 cards into the deck. That is a lot. We're sadly stuck at 8 cards in hand. We will have to discard something, and pretty much everything in our hand is very good, which does make me a little bit sad. I guess Verder's Gear Hulk, maybe the least good of the bunch. Yeah, we're not attacking. We're staying put. So we go to our discard. I think we're getting rid of... Gear Hulk does make things nice and big. Pathbreaker, Pathbreaker with Achromas is pretty sweet. Wild Pair with Verderus could be interesting. Maybe it's a Azuri's Predation. Firemaker's low on creatures. Azuri's does get rid of Brago, though. Gets rid of this thing, which is really good. Although we can fight those things. Yeah, I guess we're getting rid of Azuri's. So, Path to Exile on the Olivia Valderin. Chaotic saying he's just drawn all of the removal this game. Yeah, there's definitely shuffler issues this game because we're just drawing all 5 and 6 drops. They're drawing all the removal. Olivia Valderin had some weird stuff going on. Dragonlord Ojutai took them a very long time to find any amount of lands. Olivia gonna bite the Brago on the way out. Emerald Medallion, if we could catch that, would be really good because we're hurting on mana. And that'll make it easier for us to cast multiple spells in a turn. We still need to find some lands too. If we could go Cultivate, Emerald Medallion, that could get us back into this game. So Brago hits and gonna bounce the Hideaway guy one more time. Keeping that hand nice and full. Nothing like an Esper control player with a very full hand. Probably all removal. Opponent gets an extra card. Opponent plays a Displace, bounces their stuff one more time, gets another additional card. Here comes Dragonlord Ojutai. Opponent will get to scry one time off the Path of Ancestry. They still have Return to Dust in hand, so we still need to watch out for that. It makes me not want to slam Wild Pair. Although, I don't know, maybe we... The question is, which one do you bait? So, if we use Wild Pair as the bait, then... that's not really even where we want to be. Because we're so far behind on mana, we just really can't afford to lose any of our big enchantments into Return to Dust. That will for sure take us out of the game. Opponent's going to send the Solemn Simulacrum into the Vampire opponent. Yep. Never mind. So Solemn Simulacrum going into the Esper opponent, and they'll block with Brago. Solemn dies. They'll get to draw a card. Olivia coming back to play, going to trigger that Door of Destinies again. Door of Destinies now with 4 counters on it. Yeah, once it starts getting up around 3-4 counters, pretty much everything's pretty huge. We do have that Croson Grip, so if they start turning attention toward us, then I will not hesitate to use it. We don't have the mana for it right now. That might be an issue. But, ooh, nice. Opponent shoots the Watcher for Tomorrow with Olivia. Olivia's now an 8/8, by the way. Getting pretty big. But Chaotic sitting with a bunch of cards in hand, some open mana. I wouldn't be surprised to see them continue to shoot Olivia. There's a bear. Let's play the bear. Hope that draws us into a land. Ooh, an Ancient Tomb. That is a very good land. Question is, what are we fighting? Goreclaw will come in with 5 power. Guess it has to be the Brago? Or we can just make it bigger. If we don't shoot... what does Olivia do if we don't kill the Brago? Probably steals our stuff is probably what it does. Oh, we can get more creature... we might be able to get another creature in. I feel like if we pump the Goreclaw up, it's probably getting stolen. I don't know. Fighting Brago right now... Yeah, I'm just going to pump it up. Oh, we can choose Target Bear? Put 2+ on Target Bear. Ooh. Let's pump up our Werebear just so that, like, it's clearly out of Olivia range, because we really need that mana. Play the Ancient Tomb. If we play Pathbreaker Ibex, it probably gets killed. Guess we'll... Yeah, we can get Verdant Gearhulk in really easily. So, Verdurous Gearhulk in. We can distribute 4 +1/+1 counters. I'm going to go kind of evenly depending on how things go here. I don't want to make one creature a significantly better target than another. Make the choice tough for opponent. So, alright, things shaping up a little bit. Now, we're still one board wipe away from things going awfully, but we do have an Ayula that we can attack with. I guess we'll send it into Chaotix. Wouldn't be surprised if he's still sitting on instant speed removal. But he is at 35, so, I don't know, taking a hit for 5 from a bear doesn't seem like the end of the world, especially with this Olivia chilling on board. I know what we do. I think next turn we probably play Asceticism and then slowly try to set up for that Achromos Memorial play. Opponent's going to exile our commander. Yeah, next turn is definitely going to be the Asceticism, and we're just going to have to live with the fact that it might get returned to dust. And that's also kind of why I didn't want to go all in on one particular creature with the Verdurous Gearhulk. Soul Herder. Oh, boy. So, Chaotix did say, by the way, that they want to make this an Amanatu deck, just that it was out of their price range currently on MTGO. I did recommend that, like, Send Triplets has this bad way of just, like, eating all of the removal. So, there's a Karmic Guide getting back the Watcher for tomorrow. The good news is that does make lots of nice targets for the Olivia Valdarin that are not us. Opponent's going to hide away. Opponent's going to shoot the hideaway creature. It will die. Next thing they do have to get rid of is that Soul Herder, but they no longer have the mana for that. Karmic Guide is very good against Olivia and because of the Pro Black, so Olivia cannot shoot it and they can block it, so that is a little bit of an issue. Yep, opponent's going to blink their opponent's blinking the Karmic Guide. Watcher is going to be coming back. Here comes the Hedron Archive for the Dragonlord Ojutai. Yep. And they've still got a fair bit of removal. They've got the Grasp of Fate. They've got the Return to Dust. Ugh. Almost wondering if Shamanic Revelation is the better card right now. We'll see how many creatures we have left when Olivia gets through with us, because that's kind of a concern, but... Yep, here's a Soren Markov. Yep, opponent did mention that in the chat earlier, that when I was discussing what I thought mid-power was, and whether making someone's life total 10 is mid-power or not, I would say not. So he's going to go ahead and make Chaotix life total 10. That should get a nice little blood feud going. We draw land. All right. Play the land. So we've got 9 mana plus 2 cost reduction on bigger creatures. So it puts us a ways away from the Achroma Pathbreaker play. I'm going to try the Shamanic Revelation. The cards we have in hand right now just aren't where we want to be. So I think looking at more cards is the answer. Triumph of the Hordes is a card. We do have our land set up for next turn, so I like that. And actually, I guess we'll wait till after combat. Our creatures would have trample. Chaotix would have to block. But if they block, then Olivia's got a pretty good chance to shoot all of our stuff, and that's not amazing. I want to get this bear in so we can get the redraw out of it. But we don't have the mana to do all of that stuff. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna chill. We can't attack past the Olivia, it's too big. And I really want to let this blood feud happen between Firemaker and Chaotix. So, yeah, I'm just gonna play a bear. We draw another bear. Doesn't look like we have enough to cast that one, though, sadly. What are we getting rid of? The bear is cool because it's like a nice low mana play, which we don't seem to have very many of. Could also be good with the wild pair. What are we getting rid of? Triumph of the Hordes. Yeah, I definitely don't want to get rid of that. We're probably going to need that if we want to win this game. Pathbreaker, maybe? No, we need Pathbreaker. No, we can't ditch the land. We cannot ditch the land. I guess it's Crossing Grip. I mean, I know it's like we don't have a ton of removal, and Door of Destinies is getting pretty large, but based on what we need to do right now, I just don't think we're going to have time to use it, so... Echo comes up for the Karmic Guide, and opponent pays the Echo cost. Karmic Guide coming our way, Brago coming our way. That's fair, we're at 41. We get swords or something? I don't even know how we got back. Oh, the Shamanic Revelation got us some life. Got us some card draw. Olivia gonna go to work right here. Let's see what they've got. Can do 1 damage to the Brago, sure. Ooh, I just remember, Goreclaw does not give the cost reduction to Pathbreaker Ibex. That is something we'll need to keep in mind. And Olivia's gonna steal control of the Brago. Yup. And here comes a momentary blink. Ooh, nice. That fizzles 7 mana from the Olivia opponent. That's a big tempo blowout. Opponent gets to keep their Brago. Soul Hoarder's gonna get bigger. No blocks from us. We go down to 39. Opponent's gonna blink the Watcher for tomorrow, get some more cards. And that'll trigger the Soul Hoarder. Hideaway will trigger when it comes back. Depending on what happens right here, it might just be time for a Chroma's Memorial. If we go a Chroma's Memorial and I think the Bear, we should be able to do a lot of damage. Dragonlord Ojutai did not use that mana at the end step. I was hoping in fear of losing tempo they would just use the one shot on Door of Destinies to get rid of it, but it does not appear that they will be doing that. Ooh, Dragonlord going to swing into Chaotix. Chaotix can block, but they'll have to give up Brago if they want to. They can flashback Momentary Blink if they wanted to not take that damage. Ooh, Despark. Exile target permanent with converted mana cost 4 or greater. And they're going to use that on the Olivia. So getting Olivia out of play. And that's why I didn't attack anyone. I didn't want to upset the balance of how things were going between our opponents, because I've been hit by plenty of Sorin Markov triggers in my life, and I know how it makes me feel. So I know once that happens, you know, both players are just going to go at it super hard until one or both of them are dead. So there's definitely going to be a big window for us right here. Yep, going to block with Brago. Opponent does not blink the Brago, it goes down. Probably fearing that, like, that's what scares everyone, but I mean, now we see what opponent's doing, and it's getting really late in this game, so it's, you know, like, early in the game, giving up the piece that's annoying everyone can be a nice political play, but I think we're past the point in the game where they're, like, where you can make that concession. Here comes Grasp of Fate, let's see what that's going after. So it's going to grab our Vanquisher's Banner, the Door of Destinies, and the Soul Herder. Alright. They still have Return to Dust mana, though, which is super annoying. Opponent blink the Soul Herder. Yep, gonna flashback the Momentary Blink on the Soul Herder. Olivia back to play, and they've got enough to activate Cabal Coffers. How many swamps do they have? Looks like 3 swamps. They have a Temple of the False God out there. If it was a swamp, they'd have 4 swamps. Ooh, nice. Opponent's gonna plus the Sorin Markov to shoot the Soul Herder. Opponent's gonna bite the Watcher for tomorrow. Oh, we are in good shape. Chaotix has no blockers. Opponent gonna send the Viscera Seer into Chaotix. Yep. Down to 9 they go. Bow of Nylea. Ooh. That would give some of our stuff Death Touch and Trample. And that plus, the plus may actually be relevant right here. So play the land, start with that. Alright, how much damage do we have on board? We have 10, 15 damage. Maybe we don't have quite enough. So what do we do? We're gonna Wild Pair. Actually, no, we'll go Asceticism. Because Chroma's Memorial is the one that will win us the game. Big time. So that is into play. I want to play the bow, but I think we might be overcommitting into the Return to Dust by doing that. Maybe we play the... can we play the... No, we can't afford the Pathbreaker right here. What did I say we have? We have 15 damage. Power 4 or greater. That is only 2 of our creatures. You know what? Let's use the bow. Let's use the bow, run the Asceticism out there, and... This will, in all likelihood, eat that Return to Dust, but once we do that, we can play the Chroma's Memorial and the Wild Pair, and that should be that. Question is, what are we attacking with, and who are we attacking? Sorin Markov has the ability to make someone else's life total 10 again. We really don't want that, so we should definitely swing into the Sorin Markov. We'll put another hit on Chaotix. I'm not going to kill him. I'll try to let someone else do that. Ooh, right, Death Touch, yeah. All right, so we'll attack like that. We'll use the bow to put, it was only 1+1 counter. Maybe not. Thought it was 2+1/+1 counters. I was wrong. Yeah, that's the part about bow I don't like. That activated ability, The Death Touch Trample is pretty relevant though. So Chaotix survives at 3, and we passed turn like that. Probably should have played the Bear, now that I'm thinking about it. Accidentally F6'd during all of that. It's could be relevant. It's probably a relevant amount of damage. So Sorin Markov goes down, and Olivia's still at 19. Settle Beyond Reality. Exile target creature you don't control. Exile target creature you control, then return it to the battlefield. So opponent exiling... Yep. So Olivia gets exiled one more time, and that's exactly why I left Chaotix alive, because now hopefully we don't pay the price and they just like combo off and go wild right here. They will get back their Soul Herder. Forbidding Spirit enters the battlefield. Until your next turn, creatures can't attack you or planeswalker you control unless your controller pays 2. Ouch. It's pretty good. So Soul Herder gets to blink something. We'll blink the Forbidding Spirit. Does that make it 4? Ooh, that might be 2 triggers. Here comes a Phyrexian Metamorph. Karmic Guide, get Azor? Yep, Karmic Guide. Oh, Consecrated Sphinx maybe. Gonna get Azor. Okay, that shuts off a number of things that we can do. Instants and sorceries or non-creature spells? Instant and sorceries, so we might be on a Chroma's Memorial right here. Loyal Unicorn, at the beginning of combat on your turn. If you control your commander, prevent all damage that would be dealt to other creatures you control this turn. Other creatures you control gain vigilance. Ooh. And opponent finally taps out of mana. Finally not holding up Return to Dust mana. It also occurred to me that we probably could have shot the Karmic Guide. Actually, no. We can't tell what they copy until after they copy it with... Yeah, I guess we could have shot the Karmic Guide. That's the thing that we could have done. Oh, opponent going to send in the Azor and the Dragon Lord, although I don't know that they can afford to pay. Nope. And they just passed the turn. Going to put the boots on the Loyal Unicorn. Yep. Now the problem is I don't know if we have the ability to deal with TDDL. They still have 5 cards in hand. That is a lot. Well, board wipe's probably out of the question. Yep, opponent just recasting their commander. Sure. In the meantime, we're going to use the bow to recycle 4 cards at the bottom. It'll be Crossing Grip, the Revelation, Beast Within, and Finale of Devastation, I guess. Just on the off chance that we like actually find a ramp spell and then draw a few cards, we may be able to get those back, but we will see. Wild Pair does shuffle our library. That's something to think about. So Olivia back to play. Opponent doesn't have all that much mana, so not too concerning. Bearscape! Oh man, we just exiled cards from our graveyard. Oh man, that sucks. Now the problem is Dragon Lord Ojutai. Ghostly Prison does make it tough for us. We need mana. Mana is the thing that we need. I'm going to try the Wild Pair. I'm going to play Mother Bear. That'll give us a Wild Pair trigger. That'll importantly shuffle our library. Oh my god, we can get a Bane of Progress. What can we hit? Ghostly Prison. We hit a lot of our stuff. Yep. Bane of Progress. Not going to work right here. Druid's Familiar is not terrible. That'll make 2 bears large. Striped Bear gives us a card draw. I like the Druid's Familiar right here because that'll put 2 bears in range of the Goreclaw. So I guess we'll pump up the Uvenwald Bear. Just going to try attacking Chaotix and see how much that costs. It's 4. Yep, 4 per creature. We cannot afford that. We'll attack into Firemaker, get their life total nice and low also. Goreclaw will trigger. Ooh, they drop down to 2. Nice. So Chaotix at 3 and Firemaker at 2. This should get really interesting. Opponent can technically kill them with the Karmic Guide. That would be hilarious. Opponent's going to pay for the Echo cost. Yep. Ooh, yeah, opponents can't play instants and sorceries because of the Azor. Opponent can attack us. Yeah, they could have killed Firemaker with the Karmic Guide. We go down to 33. Soul Herder is going to trigger. Going to put it on the Forbidding Spirit. Yep. Forbidding Spirit comes back and gets another Ghostly Prison effect. Ooh, nice. So Dragon Lord Ojutai has to pay for their Karmic Guide if they don't want to lose it. And they could also kill the Olivia if they wanted to. So I'm hoping they pay for it, kill the Olivia, and then we might potentially shoot it with the bow. Yep, they're going to pay for it. So I like this because this does... I mean, 5 mana is a lot, especially because, like us, they've been missing land drops all game. So it's a pretty big deal. It's a lot of mana when you're way behind, when you're 10 lands behind the turn count. It is turn 15, by the way. Opponent going to combat. Loyal Unicorn's going to trigger. Ojutai into... Alright, opponent going to send Ojutai into Chaotix. Alright, that's the only attack... Oh, that's the only attack they're going to make. Bummer. Once again, they do not have Return to Dust mana, so that is good news. This might be the turn. Especially if players are about to get eliminated right here. Uh-oh, Chaotix has tricks. I'm going to settle the wreckage. Nice. Ojutai going to get exiled. Glad that settle is not getting used on us. Ojutai down. Opponent's now starting to realize that I might be the threat. Yeah, I've got a nice little bear army going. The biggest problem right now is the Ghostly Prison effects that are on board. Opponent cannot use this Ancient Tomb, by the way. It will kill them if they do. Let's see if they realize that and they accidentally die to their own Ancient Tomb. Played that game a little while back where Dave was at 1 and played a Vampiric Tutor. Forgot that, that does kill you. Dark Petition, uh-oh. Do we have anything for that? I don't think we have anything for that. Board wipe? What are we saving if it comes to that? Kind of want the Werebear. The mana's been really helpful, but the trample from Goreclaw is also a pretty big deal. Decree of Pain could be a really big problem. I'm gonna take while opponent's doing that, I'm going to take a quick look, see what we have for 3/3s for this wild pair. We have River Bear, has Island Walk. River Bear might be about it. See what opponent goes for. Blasphemous Act is down. Decree of Pain could be a thing, though. I think they realized they were about to use the Ancient Tomb. Oh, passing. Maybe, oh, right. Probably going to do some attacking first if it is a board wipe. Going to go into Chaotix. Yep. Nope. Can't pay. Yep, can't pay. Black Sun Zenith. Ooh, that one we can't do much about. Can we save anything? It's -6. What will we do? No, we only have 2 cards in graveyard for that. What can we do with the bow? We can gain 3 life, is what we can do. Might as well gain some life. So all the creatures getting wiped away, and I'm actually fine with that because Dragon Lord Ojutai was going to be a really big problem for us. Now we can just cast this Pathbreaker Ibex and get 2 creatures. Our creatures are Grizzly Fate. create two bears. We should have Threshold now. Yep, 8 cards in graveyard, so we do have Threshold. We would make 4 bears. That is not awful. How much mana do we have? We have 6, 7, 8, 9. We have 9 mana. What is the most efficient thing for us to do? Our commander is 6. That's not amazing. I say we get the Pathbreaker Ibex. Yeah, let's get the Pathbreaker Ibex. Use that. We'll leave up the Scavenger Grounds as needed. Wild Pair will trigger. Oh, there's actually a second creature. Second creature is Alpine Grizzly. It's a 4/2. The 4/2 is better with Pathbreaker Ibex. So we'll grab that one, and could play Bearscape, but we have 9 mana. I feel better leaving up the Bow, Asceticism, and Scavenger Grounds, honestly. Is Alpine Grizzly going to take down a player? 1 player at 3, 1 player at 2. Plains count for this area is 4, by the way. Opponent still has a long way to go. Enters the battlefield. Each opponent discards a card, and you gain 3 life. Ouch. I'm going to go with the Bearscape. Bearscape is not terribly efficient from a mana standpoint. Grizzly Fate is much more mana efficient, although it does have flashback. Yeah, maybe we should get rid of it because it has flashback. But yeah, again, we're choked on mana, so I think we need to stay with the more mana efficient option. Opponent goes up to 6. Pretty relevant when you're at 3. Can actually, defend themselves from some kind of attack. Oh, that's a Sun Titan. Let's see what they go for. If it's that Ghostly Prison guy, we're definitely popping the Scavenger Grounds. It's Soul Herder. Yeah, I think I've had enough of the ETBs right here. Pop the Scavenger Ground. Sacrifice a Desert. That's going to be a big old nope. Don't tell me opponent has a blink spell in response. Nope. Appears nope, just tapping out their mana. So Graveyard's exiled. Sun Titan will fizzle. Here comes Dragon Lord Ojutai. Sure. Opponent will get the scry. Dragon Lord Ojutai going to go on the attack into Chaotix. Sounds good to me. So Chaotix finally going down. Dragon Lord Ojutai will trigger. Vanquisher's Banner for Olivia. Do they have enough to recast their commander? They will play a Drana. That'll get them a card draw. Drana, a very reasonable blocker with an Ojutai on board. Finally, a Kodama's Reach. Wow, where has that been? Yeah, I'm starting with that. I don't even care about the rest of our plays. I really just want that. Get some lands. Get a land. Get a land. Most of the lands, usually by this point in the game, most of your lands are in play. Most of our lands are still in the deck. So play the Kodama's Reach, get that super late game ramp going. Puts us back to 1 card in graveyard for the Grizzly Fate. Might be our commander this turn. We could send both. Yeah, I think it's time to send both of the Vampire player and get them out of the game. Although I'm not super ready to go head to head with Dragon Lord Ojutai yet. But oh man, I think that's what we're doing. Yeah, I think that's just what's gonna have to happen. So send those both into Olivia. Pathbreaker Ibex will trigger. So, Firemaker going down to combat damage. Actually, they just scoop. Yep, Pathbreaker Ibex still in the stack. So, they scoop. Recast our commander. Yep, it's 6. But this does give us the ability to make a lot of power with our bears, so that's cool. If we cast a Grizzly Fate, that's still 2 4/4s, so that's pretty sweet. And also, we can fight things should we need to. We kind of need to get opponent to use that Return to Dust, which they might do right here. We'll see. But Batterskull is a card. It may actually be Triumph of the Hordes time, is what's probably going to need to happen. Equip the Batterskull to the Ojutai. Sure. Ooh, opponent's tapped out. Opponent is tapped out. Didn't attack, though. Interesting. There's a land. It's a tap land, but we're playing it. How much mana do we have? We have 10 mana available to us. That's 4. and we'd have exactly 6 to pay for the Ghostly Prison. Opponent will have to block. The smallest one is Ayula, or do we just go for a Chromas? If we go with Chromas, they go Return to Dust, and then they can get us really hard next turn. I think it's got to be Triumph of the Hordes right here. Oh, plus, Trample Death Touch. I know I talk a lot of smack about Bow of Nylea, but I think it's about to pull its weight. Cast Triumph of the Hordes, swing in, pay 6, get the Pathbreaker Ibex trigger, and this should do it. No blocks from opponent, just gonna, yeah, there it is, Bears taking it down. Well, opponent had nasty stuff in hand too. Cyclonic Rift, Council Judgment, Return to Dust, Sigarda's Aid, and Lightning Greaves. Able to sneak out a win with the Bears. So yeah, So why did this game work? The reason this game worked is because we're playing Bears, and we were able to lay so low that no one paid attention to us for, like, literally the entire game. That was 17 turns of people not focused on Bears. And because of that, we were able to let opponents kind of naturally build bad blood between themselves. And they spent all their time and effort killing each other and using removal on each other and the Sorin trigger and this, that, and the other thing. So not a lot of attention to the Bears. Able to sneak in there at the end. And, you know, a couple turns in, once I realized that we weren't catching lands and we had all of our late game stuff, I realized that, like, our only real chance is just to drag the game out. We need to drag the game out, get caught up on lands, and once we do that, because we have so much of our late game stuff, like, we can't do it all at once. You need a lot of turns to, you know, cast a 5-drop, then next turn cast another 5-drop, then cast a 6-drop, etc. And just, you know, we're able to squeak it out by doing that and just dragging the game out. That's why I didn't kill players when I had the opportunity to, and normally you would. Normally when you have the opportunity to take someone out, you would, but because I especially after the Sorin trigger, Sorin triggers feel the worst, so, like, when I get hit with a Sorin trigger, I will probably blindly throw everything at the player that did that to me in hopes that neither of us will win. Like, you almost don't care about winning at that point. You just care about getting back at that player, so that actually worked out pretty well. They played additional removal on the Olivia, and that got him good. But yeah, I don't know. This deck, it could be cleaned up, definitely. It probably needs an extra bear or two. It needs a little bit more ramp. It probably needs a little bit more removal. I don't know where to cut cards to get all of those things. Some of you that may be, like, more experienced bear tribal players that have been running without Ayula in the command zone for a long time, it may have better ideas on what to do with this. This is kind of my first take at it, but yeah, the deck could definitely be cleaned up a little bit. It's like 75% of all the things that I want. It's got some bears, it's got some ramp, it's got a little bit of removal, but it doesn't have, like, a lot of any of those, so I don't know. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. As always, feel free to comment, like, or subscribe. Thank you for watching. I want to thank my awesome Patreon supporters. We have one new Patreon supporter, Jared Coulter. Jared, you are awesome. If you want to help support the channel and vote on which decks I play next, feel free to check out my Patreon at the link below.